Hey guys, Mark Kwok here. Today we're talking about footwear and specifically a new piece of footwear I got from Nike called the Vomero 5s. All right, so these are super popular shoes. You've probably seen them around a ton. They're actually running shoes. So I am a bit of a runner these days, and so it is for that purpose in a sense. But honestly, I think more people are wearing this as a casual shoe than a running shoe. And for that reason, I'm gonna review these for a second, give you the pros and cons, and maybe you can make a decision on whether you should also get one of these Vomero 5s. All right, so I don't know much about the history of the Vomero line, but I gotta tell you, man, this looks like something that came from like the 2000s, which is very much kind of the style right now, right? Like all these Gen Z folk and everything are wearing these type of sneakers that look like they popped out from 2002. But I gotta say, these shoes, they give me a vibe that feels a little bit more new than the retro of the 2000s. Like something seems fresh about it. I can't tell if it's maybe the lines and like the fact that it's using the Zoom X like foam, or like, I'm not quite sure, but it does look very modern while still harkening back to that sort of vintage. I can't believe 2000s is vintage, but you know, whatever that is, neo vintage, those vibes. So pros and cons, let's go into the pros. First pro is that these are fairly versatile shoes. They are able to be used both as running shoes, because they're actually considered running shoes, but they're also, I would argue, more appropriate as just everyday shoes. And these days, there's actually a lot of running shoes that have become kind of, they're like running shoes proper, but then have been co-opted by the hype beast crowd or whatever to be walking casual shoes. This just happens to be one of those. These are two other shoes that I have. This is the, what is this? The Asics Metaspeed Sky, and then also the Nike, these are also Nikes, so Nike Pegasus 40. These are my actual running shoes. So there are scenarios where I am going to be running, and when it's like a regular easy run, the Pegasus 40 are going to be my way to go, whereas the Asics Metaspeed Sky are if I'm racing or like on a track or something like that. But as you can tell, those are like more specialized use cases for running. When I need to run in a pinch or something like that, then the Vomeros, they end up being a good sort of like, I can run with them and then shortly afterwards go into the city and feel fine that I have a trendy sneaker as well. The second pro is that these are insanely comfy. I mean, I don't think they're the perfect last or like the, you know, whatever the shape of the sole. I don't think it's the perfect thing for me. I have a bit of wide feet, so these do feel narrow in certain areas, but even still, they have such good cushion. They're not too heavy. They have good breathability. I think generally comfort-wise, I would give this a massive thumbs up over half of the Nike shoes, or most of the shoes that I have actually. These also come in a variety of colors. Now I got the most basic color. It's kind of like this like off-white gray. I think this might honestly be the most basic slash like popular color. I personally like the look of these. They're clean and just, they don't really scream at you, even though they're a slightly trendy shoe. But you can get them in like, I think the last I saw, there were like 15 different colors on Nike.com. So you have variety, which is another pro. I haven't put these through the paces too much, so we'll see about longevity. I am hearing from folks that longevity is pretty good actually on these. All right, so what are the cons? Well, one, it's a fairly basic shoe. People are wearing this shoe more often than I thought. I thought I had an eye for something because like once I bought it, I realized everyone else was buying it. But in truth, I think I've just maybe subconsciously seen them around a ton and then like ended up getting influenced and purchasing them myself. So just know that like a lot of people are wearing this particular sneaker. And so if you want to be unique, this isn't gonna be your ticket to being unique. The second thing also is that because it's a casual shoe and a running shoe in kind of like a pseudo both directions, that's a positive for me and my use cases. But if you're trying to use them purely as a running shoe, I wouldn't say that they're as good as some of the more purpose-driven running shoes that they have. I do have a buddy who actually got Vomeros and he's using it for running, but you could tell he's using it less and less and less over time. So I would say, again, this would be more of the casual type as opposed to the running type. Cool, keep it simple, but I highly recommend these shoes because they're comfortable, they're trendy, look good, and like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a fan. I will say that they're not necessarily the cheapest at retail. I think they're in like $150 range, but I don't know if it's worth the full MSRP. So if you can find a coupon or colorway that's I think you can get them down to like 80 bucks or something like that, then I would totally pull the trigger. Cool, the Vomero 5s by Nike, something that I would recommend. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Mark Kwok. I'll see you guys on the next one.